This is the iPhone 15 Pro Max and it is bringing a lot of changes that are perhaps the most significant shift in Apple's Pro-focused lineup yet. On the outside, you'll notice minimal changes. The glossy stainless steel has now been swapped for a brushed titanium frame and the bezels are slightly thinner. And the phone is overall lighter by 19 grams. It might not seem much on paper, but the differences add up. The weight reduction in particular is noticeable and makes Apple's giant-sized iPhone all the more comfortable to hold. And that drop in weight is mostly a result of the switch to titanium. The lighter but stronger material now has a PVD coating. Yes, it attracts fingerprints despite being matte finished, but all it takes is a swipe with lint-free cloth to clean it up. Elsewhere, there are a range of new colors including a natural titanium, white titanium, black and blue titanium. We have got the natural titanium on hand that gives the phone a monolithic look. The silent mode toggle has also been swapped out for a new shortcut button called the action button, which is right here. The single button can be programmed to perform one of dozen of functions like switching on the flash or activating the camera. It is pretty nifty. Up front, the biggest change is slightly slimmer bezels. It's not the slimmest in the business by far, but compared to a previous generation iPhone, the difference looks dramatic and adds to the immersiveness of the large 6.7-inch display. Moreover, it further accentuates last year's major addition, Dynamic Island. It's still there and it makes multitasking and juggling supported apps a breeze. All in all, the differences so far are subtle until you get to the lower edge and you notice that port looks just a bit different. The iPhone 15 series marks the first time Apple's brought over USB-C to its iPhones. On the Pro and Pro Max, these are USB 3 compatible, giving it transfer speeds of up to 10 Gbps. The iPhone also works perfectly well with external storage, dongles. You can even connect wired internet to it. But more importantly, you can now use a single cable to charge your iPhone, Mac and iPad, and that will for many be the biggest upgrade this year. Speaking of upgrades, the iPhone's processor has been improved as well. The A17 Pro chipset is predictably more powerful and there is an additional 2 GB of RAM on board as well. You won't notice the upgraded performance out of the box, but the A17's Pro gaming focus means that you will soon be able to play console quality games on your phone, which should please enthusiast users. Similarly, battery life hasn't drifted too much. Apple still claims 1 full day of use, and in our test, that's exactly what you get. Now, other improvements also include faster Wi-Fi 6E support, improved Bluetooth. The iPhone can also serve as a thread radio for those on the cutting edge of smart home technology. But while all these improvements are significant in their own right, there's one more thing. Now, remember that I mentioned the Rift earlier? For the first time ever, the iPhone 15 Pro Max has a different camera setup compared to the iPhone 15 Pro. For the first time ever, the telephoto lens on the Pro Max has been swapped out from Apple's traditional 3x camera to a 5x camera. And it's only the iPhone 15 Pro Max that is getting the feature. It's a fundamental change in the zoom capabilities of the iPhone and should let you get much closer to the subject. We have had an opportunity to test out the feature and picture quality is generally competitive with the best in the business as long as the lighting is good. Other changes include new software additions to the camera. For example, you can now set the primary camera at 24mm, 28mm and 35mm focal lengths. Now, while Apple claims that this is like having 7 lenses in your phone, that's not really the case as the crop is still digital. However, the results are plenty good and you will still get some of the advantages of pixel binning. HDR performance has also been significantly improved and you can now retain more details in highlights and surface more detail from the shadows. Fan of portrait mode? Well, the iPhone 15 Pro series makes your life much easier. You don't have to switch to portrait anymore. As long as the iPhone can detect a face, a cat or a dog in the picture, it will automatically save the depth information and let you add portrait blur to the shot after taking the photo. Avid smartphone videographers will enjoy the ability to shoot raw footage with log profiles. And you can now connect an external storage to transfer the video straight to an SSD instead of filling up internal storage. In fact, some of the largest quality of life additions this year are coming through iOS 17, like Standby, Name Drop, and the best part, is that the most of these upgrades will be accessible to users on older iPhones. The iPhone 15 Pro Max isn't a breakthrough device, but it doesn't need to be. This year is all about significant quality of life changes between USB-C, the lighter build, action button, and the increased telephoto range. The phone is setting the tone for the next few years at Apple. Price starting 1,59,900 rupees and going all the way to 1,99,900 rupees for the 1TB model, the iPhone 15 Pro Max is admittedly an expensive phone. But you are getting desktop-like performance for your money and some of the best cameras in the business, especially for video.